I'm Dia.
I'm Lauren. We would like to introduce you to the Don't Be Deceived podcast.
Don't Be Deceived is a new show where Lauren and I interview real people from all walks of life.
We give everyday men and women the opportunity to share with us their journey through life, their testimony.
Our podcast is named after a passage from the Christian scriptures, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap."
This is true with everyone's life journey. We all reap what we sow.
Expect to hear personal stories of passion and hope.
And most importantly, how they became more than conquerors through the Son of God who loved us and gave himself for us.
Without further ado, do you think we should give the audience a taste of one of our interviews?
I'm very excited.
Thank you for listening. Please enjoy.
I joined the police at 18, and at that particular moment, I was working 4 out of every 6 weekends, so that included Sundays. So I basically couldn't really commit to a church, and I just sort of went here and there when I could. But I found it really difficult. I was single at the time, and I found, it was either people wanted to marry me off or people hated me because others wanted to marry me off. And I just felt really uncomfortable, and I didn't enjoy going to church, and I didn't have that camaraderie or friendship with any of the women at church. And so over time, I just stopped going altogether. And I just sort of worked and, lived sort of knowing that God was there, but not having that personal relationship with him. And then, in my early 20s, I kind of was at a point in my life where I was like, I'd love to think about my future. I'd love to think about being married and having children. And I thought there is only one sort of man that I would like to marry, and that is a godly man. I still had that in me that's what I wanted. But I thought there is no way a decent, godly man would want to take me right now. And I would not blame him because I'm not living as I should. And I don't have that personal relationship. I'm not in church. And I had a few pretty traumatic things happen at work in terms of violence and trauma happening to myself and things I had witnessed. I had a police officer shoot herself in the head in front of me, and that was quite traumatic for me to go through. And it really kind of shook things and put a lot of things in perspective, and it sort of gave me the kick up the butt that I needed. And then sometime after I was sort of battling with this in my mind, my pop passed away, and he was the most godly, most good man I had ever met in my entire existence. And I had a very close relationship with him. And after the funeral, I got in touch with people who used to go to my grandfather's church. And then that got me going to that church. And I would say that's when I completely changed everything. And I think the thing that changed it for me and made it real was the theology. I think I'd gone to a lot of churches that were quite wishy-washy, God's all good, and didn't really give you the other side of the gospel, or not just the gospel, but the other side of God, If you don't accept God's justice, then you don't accept his love. You can't take one side of God and not the other. And I feel like the church I was raised in were a bit like that, which made it easy for me to just kind of drift away, whereas the church that I started